Lila Shapiro is a features writer for New York Magazine. She has written about Hollywood controversies, literary mysteries, and political battles. Most recently, she is covering that of Enty Lawyer, John Nelson, the writer behind the Celebrity Blinds blog website, Crazy Days and Night. In Lila's article, published on April 22nd, 2024. It is titled The Man Who Gossiped Too Much. For almost 2 decades, John Nelson anonymously published blind items, scurrying the Hollywood elite on the blog Crazy Days and Nights. Then his identity was revealed in the midst of a messy affair. One afternoon nearly 20 years ago, a lawyer named John Robert Nelson began to lead a double life. He was 37, working for a small firm in a small town on the coast of Northern California, and earning so little that he had to get up at 3 every morning to deliver newspapers. The alter ego he created led a more glamorous existence. Enty Lawyer, as that persona was known, was the author of Crazy Days and Nights, a Hollywood gossip blog that would go on to acquire cult status among devotees of celebrity dirt. In his first post, Nelson wrote that he started the blog because he was in a unique position of being able to tell you what really goes on behind the scenes and what even the gossip magazines can't find out. In the short biography he posted on the site, he claimed he had represented big stars going through arrests, divorces, breakups, and hookups, new deals, and cancellations. He promised to dish about his clients as well as his own Hollywood adventures. With the celebs and pseudo-celebs who populated in his life, if his claims were to be believed, Enty was among the most connected guys in Hollywood. He was friends with Leonardo DiCaprio. He drank with Frank Sinatra. He picked up Katherine Heigl on the side of the highway at 3 in the morning after she ran out of gas, and collected Quentin Tarantino off of a bench. Krakow. A disclaimer said that the site published conjecture and fiction, in addition to accurately reported information. It did not specify which anecdotes were which. It was a good time to launch a gossip blog by the mid-aughts. The public had grown weary of fawning celebrities' coverage that the mainstream entertainment outlets had been covering up for decades. Magazines often worked in collaboration with publicists to present ennobling portraits of stars in the industry that made them glossing over smug addictions and harassment and corruption. Meanwhile, a new cohort of gossip bloggers like Elaine Liu and Perez Hilton seemed to be stripping away the facade, and they were attracting huge followings on the internet. Enty was never as big as they were, in part because he wrote anonymously, but he offered something they didn't, writing in a unique style, hard-boiled and absurd. He trafficked primarily in blind items, entries written as puzzles that would each theoretically apply to at least 2 different celebrities' clever way to both evade potential libel lawsuits and engage readers who would guess the incident of the stories in the comment sections allowed him to be more salacious than Hilton or Lila. In 2016, glowing Vanity Fair write-up declared him the king of the blind item, claiming Enty had become a direct source for gossip that evades the normal channels of celebrity news and feeds directly into the internet's never-ending appetite for the juice. What made him the king, according to Vanity Fair, was that unlike other gossip bloggers who might occasionally write a blind item, Enty revealed the identities of his subjects, and sometimes years later. Enty's Hollywood was a dark and messy world, uglier and more menacing than the glamorous town imagined by outsiders. The authenticity of this vision, and in turn the authenticity of his scoops, was bolstered by how pathetic he came across in all of his own accounts. Enty described himself as a 300-pound heavy-drinking entertainment lawyer who had been married 6 times, lived in his parents' basement in LA, and was bullied by his famous clientele schlub with the right connections and a nose for dirt. In reality, Nelson didn't live in his parents' basement, and he hadn't been married 6 times, only 3. Today, he and his wife, Victoria, live in Indio, California, a desert city near Palm Springs. Until recently, Nelson told me, the people who knew he wrote for the blog were just his wife, his brother, a couple of friends, and a few acquaintances, and a handful of celebrities that he had known for years.